Welcome to the Play Callers podcast. And it is not a Monday night unless I have these two gentlemen right beside me. The only two men I like right about now is Coach Kirk Broussard, Coach Chris Williams. Hello, how are you?
Very good.
Hello,
Very
how's it
good.
going?
Good. Okay, so do you want a girl moment right now? So I heard a couple songs by Brett Young. You ever heard a song and it just like triggers something?
Okay.
Oh my God, tears.
Wow.
This brick wall had some tears from a song. So, yes. And then I realized preseason for NFL is done. We are heading into a regular season. Oh my God. It feels so good. It feels so good.
I think the country needs football now, like real football with fans. It's been 2 years since no fans, seems like.
I'm done with the simulated that pretend. Woo! Yay! I'm done with the pretend fans and seeing the cutouts in the stands, and I know we're going to get to that a little bit later. But gentlemen, welcome. It is Monday. It is August 30th. We have pretty much wrapped up the summer. My neck of the woods, we are 1 week away from the big Labor Day Classic. Hamilton Tiger Cats, we actually won last Friday, still feeling the vibe off that. We're heading into a game with Toronto Argonauts.
Nice.
Chris, you know about that, don't you? That love-hate relationship between the two of us.
Is that a big rivalry?
Yeah.
They're close.
Okay.
Yeah, we don't like each other. Oh, we got the beer going.
Mm-hmm. There you
Wow.
go.
We were on a little bit of a time delay. So,
what beer is that, Coach? Oh, can we get a deal Heineken? Can we get a deal Heineken?
It sure would be nice. We need to chase that down.
Yeah.
Celsius.
What are you drinking?
What's that? This is really good. It's like a natural energy drink, all natural, and it's got zero everything, and it tastes really good. It's non-GMO, everything that you'd want. Yeah.
Nice.
It's good for my body.
Mm-hmm.
Nice.
Any alcohol? No.
No alcohol. It's cucumber lime. It's really good.
Oh, so you're taking like a new outlook on life right now, Coach Kirk Broussard. You're doing the healthy lifestyle.
September's going to be my month. I'm following Coach.
That's right.
I know, Coach Chris Williams. You've toned up. You've leaned up. You're just like this beast right now.
You look like a wide receiver, man.
Back to my running back days, man. I feel like I got a couple carries in me. One or two carries.
Not I.
One or two carries in me.
You think you could hit the hole once?
Oh, for sure, once. Definitely. Yeah, no doubt about that.
But what about when you fall, though?
What about when you
fall?
So we have a lot to get to. As I said, tears in my eyes. We're heading into a regular season. My guys don't look very good, but I'm still going to wear the swag. I'm still going to be busting balls all season because, I'm back in the Bills. We have that hurricane that's hitting Louisiana.
Yeah, sad story.
Oh, man. I know I reached out to one of the guys from the New Orleans Saints radio, Mike Detillier. He says it's not good there. It's not good at all. And I was sending my love to him, sending, whatever I could do to help from my end. Scary stuff happening out there.
Yeah, that's my hometown. I have a lot of family there, but everybody seems to be okay.
Yeah.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good. So here at the Play Callers podcast, we are thinking of you. Let us know how we can help you. Okay, summer. It's coming to an end, boys. Tell me, what have you guys been doing? I mean, I know we've kind of have been like meeting up. This is our third time over the summer that we've met up here at on the Play Callers podcast. And if you are watching and you have a question for myself or one of the coaches, or you want to chime in on one of our stories or topics, please feel free to send a message. I know Bobby is behind scene and he will let us know if there is a message coming in as well. Mm-hmm. Coach Kirk Broussard, what have you been up to this summer?
Yeah, it's been an interesting summer because it was open and then it was closed here and then it was open, and the gyms have pretty much been more closed than open. but they kind of just opened up in the last couple months. So, you know, I've done some traveling. Like I put a mask on and I've got on a plane and I've been to Florida several times. And so I'm not going to like live my life in fear. So I've always wore my mask, double mask, and, try to keep my distance when I can. And I've been cautious, but I've tried to continue a normal life. So that was my summer. I did my football camp in Florida recently, and that went pretty well. And so I've just kind of been on the move and just trying to, get ready for the fall and get ready for the season. I know, like you said, we only met up a few times over the summer. So it's exciting to kind of get back in the groove. We got a lot to talk about with the season approaching. And each week, how this season is like a soap opera with so much stuff happening during the season. So it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun season. I want to welcome all the Play Caller fans back. You can expect regular shows from us. And I'm ready to get after it.
Season 2. Back in full effect. The three amigos, we are back. The three of us. It's always the three of us. Hey, it's hard to believe that summer is coming to an end. It's kind of bittersweet because for myself, I love going to the beach. I love just hanging out. It's summertime. But I also love September because that means football season is in full effect. I know our season for CFL has started earlier. I mean, obviously, we're on like a 14-game schedule. We've just finished our third game, so we're on a short season. But Coach Chris Williams, what have you been up to this summer? Like you had a lot of stuff happening as well. I mean, everyone's had something going on.
We did. First of all, let me say I'm really cherish this friendship circle that we've got going here. So I'm really looking really forward to this year number 2 because I really think we've got good chemistry, and I've come to really care about you too. So not that I didn't care about you before, but
guys, don't make me cry again.
Yeah, we're really going somewhere with this. So we just gotta keep building. But this is my first summer not being on a football team. Whether that be coaching in the arena leagues, the indoor leagues, whether that be scouting in the CFL. This was my first summer, and I can't even remember how long not being associated with a team. And so I really got to get in with the family and take some trips down south and visit in-laws. And we even, as we were on the trip, we even threw in a trip to Disney World. We're down south, we might as well go, right? So we got our 2 kids and, so we did a whole bunch we went camping in the mountains of Tennessee. So, it's amazing, from in the coaching football world, how much you miss, right? I mean, you don't even realize how much you're missing, but I'm telling you, this summer for me was like a rebirth, with family and that whole thing. And, so I'm feeling pretty sentimental this summer because I just really feel like I look back and I think about, how great life has been with family. Don't get me wrong, life has been great with football in it. But when football is not there and you're just talking family, it can be a pretty fun deal to deal with.
And I feel like we have been a part of your journey, Chris, because you posted a lot. Same with Kirk. You both have posted so much about your journey this summer, and especially your family. And I want to say, first off, thank you very much for allowing me to be a part of that. And I know you had that little spill on the bike a couple weeks ago, but you're okay.
Yeah, I'm okay. Pride was really hurt. Man, I don't know what I was thinking. It was like this really big curve. I thought I could handle it at a certain speed, but I'm good on my bike now. Don't get it twisted. I can handle my bike.
No, you're really good because your bike is very different than my bike.
Yeah, but that curve was too much for me. I went flying. I actually went over the handlebars, which was pretty scary while that was happening.
Yeah, but you're safe.
We're still alive.
Yeah, you're still alive. Coach Kirk Broussard, big congratulations to you as well. Coming up, can you let us know what you posted something yesterday? Huge congratulations goes out to you.
Oh, so that's the Dream Bowl, and I've been the head coach of the Dream Bowl. This will be my 2nd year. So, I talked with the owner and, we basically agreed that I would return this year as a head coach. And so that's coming up in January. MLK weekend is when it's going to take place in Virginia. And it's cool because that's actually my first head coaching experience. And so it's kind of, it's so much more you got to think about as a head coach, with game management. And this is kind of like an all-star game. So you're also thinking about helping these kids get looks at the next level as well. So it's really cool. And it's a good weekend, and it represents like a good man that did a lot for the civil rights movement. So I'm excited to be a part of it.
Very exciting. Congratulations to the both of you. It's been an incredible year for both. I know, Chris, you had so much success as well. Give us a quick update as to what is going on, because you're working on some pretty significant stuff as well.
Yeah, something very similar to what Coach is dealing with there, with trying to create exposure for HBCU kids. I mean, the HBCU Pigskin Showdown, we're moving in the right direction. We're gaining national sponsors, and things are really falling into place for us. The game will be played on the campus of Marion Military Institute, which is in Marion, Alabama. So I'm wearing my shirt here. But we're in the Black Belt of Alabama, which is civil rights home, right? So we're really feeling like, once people get a grab and see this thing, they're going to enjoy it. So it's going to have a really good first year, but really excited. So people should go and follow HBCU Pigskin Showdown on all of social media.
Yes, and we will definitely be posting both of your links online for people to follow this journey for the both of you. We have Craig that's just chimed in. He wants to know what kind of bike that we have. Well, I had this beautiful red toned bike. I like to call her Cabernet. And she is no joke, gentlemen. It is real. She is a trike, an adult trike. It has a beautiful basket on the back. It has 3 wheels. And I love her. And I ride her all around the neighborhood. And I know that people have come out and they were like, are you seriously riding that thing? I love her. Cabernet, 3 wheels and a basket.
Oh, wow.
That's crazy.
What kind of bike do you ride?
I'm on a 21 speed. So it's made by a company called The Crew. I went online searching when I got into the bike riding deal and found a really good priced bike. So 21 speeds, and I flip them around pretty fairly.
Well, that was Craig Fox. He's also my co-host. We co-host each other every morning, Monday to Friday. Yep. We have Mark Stone that is chiming in. Congrats on the popular show 2 weeks in a row. Thank you, Mark. We really appreciate you listening, both here, both at home, both at the country station as well, at Hot Country 93.9. Now, my summer's been very different because I didn't really get vacation this year because I had switched stations. So I was over at Hot Country 93.9 every morning. I do that early shift, that crazy shift that only crazy people get up for. Yeah. And then I took, and then I'm working with the Hamilton Tiger Cats as well. So that has been really exciting. And talking to you guys with NFL, I'm a very lucky girl because you guys know that I love my sports.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Are there any sports in the country station? Do they cover any sports at all?
Oh, yeah. Like we do local stuff as well. We do talk about CFL, and we do have something coming out, but I can't really say it right now. But I do know that people are going to really love it because it has to do with the NFL.
Awesome.
Nice.
Yeah. And I talk about you guys on there as well, just so you know.
I want to say something as well.
Yeah.
We have something coming with this show that I can't fully disclose, but it's potentially going to take this show to like a worldwide syndication on a pretty major streaming network. Mm-hmm. So we're working on it. We just talked about it today with the owner.
We have so much that's happening here at the Play Callers Pod, and we want to thank everybody who is tuned in and who tunes in every week. If you have a question for the coaches, please post it. If you have a comment about one of our topics, we're going to get right to it because it is time. It is time to talk about some football. Okay, coaches, I need you to get me an update on college football. A lot of matchups that we're looking forward to. Tell me, what are your thoughts so far? I know big one. We're looking for predictions. Miami, Alabama. There's been an injury report that has come out with some of the Alabama players. I don't know what I wouldn't know who to put my money on this week. So, Coach Kirk Broussard, we're going to start with you. Let's talk about some college football.
The game that everybody's talking about, there's a lot of big games in the first week, which is really unusual.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of games that are going to be like really high interest games that people really want to see. One game I'm going to be looking at actually earlier this week is the Jackson State versus UAB game with Deion Sanders leading Jackson State. He kind of had like a subpar year last year, being, I think it was maybe 4-3. I think the record was.
Okay.
And I'm really excited to see how he comes back in his year 2 with a lot of his own players in the system and a year under his belt. So that's Wednesday, September 1st. That's going to be a big game I want to see. And another one that stands out that everybody's talking about is Alabama and Miami.
Mm-hmm.
And that game is, I believe it's in Miami, right, Coach?
Mm-hmm.
I believe it's in Miami.
Yeah.
Alabama, a brand new quarterback, but Alabama's Alabama. I mean, they just plug and play. I mean, that kid was the number 1 quarterback in the nation. So,
yep.
The Miami players have kind of been talking some smack a little bit, which is you don't do that to a bear like Alabama. So it's going to be interesting to kind of see how they clash. And, there's a lot of pressure on Miami to kind of turn things around. And it's going to be a fun game to watch. So those are 2 that kind of really stand out to me. But like I said, it's a full slate of games with some really big games. You got Boise State and UCF. I'm really wanting to see how UCF looks against Boise State. Boise State has a new head coach.
Yeah.
And, it's just it's going to be an interesting weekend. I'm a big college football fan. So is Coach. So
I know you guys always give me the 411 on what's happening with college. I mean, I watch it, but I'm not like, you guys are the guys. You're the man. You're the man.
And then a lot of people are talking about the Oregon versus UCLA. What is it? Oregon? No, it's UCLA versus who was UCLA playing? Coach?
Let me look it up here.
I forgot that one. UCLA versus
LSU.
LSU. Mm-hmm. That's going to be a big one because it's in UCLA. LSU's what? They're breaking in I think he's a new quarterback. Well, no, maybe he's not a new quarterback. I think Brennan is out. Did Miles Brennan get hurt?
I believe he did in camp, Coach.
But he's back now. Okay.
Yeah.
But a lot of people are betting on LSU for this game. But I kind of see UCLA look good that first week. I mean, obviously it wasn't against LSU. Yeah, but the kid, Dorian Thompson, looked pretty good. And Chip Kelly's got his system on. They have a lot of seniors on that UCLA team, a lot of experience.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's really going to be a game to watch. And I'm picking UCLA in that game.
Wow.
Coach Chris Williams, what are your thoughts on what Kirk just said?
Well, I mean, I'm surprised he picked UCLA in that game, but there's good reason to do that. I mean, LSU, was having big issues last year defensively, so I could see why he would do that, especially against UCLA with a Chip Kelly offense. So that makes sense. I'm looking forward to the Alabama Miami game. I think there's a lot of people, at least from what I'm seeing on social media, that really think this is Miami's chance to slip in and really make a statement here. But it's like Coach said. I mean, this team always kind of reloads. I mean, I really believe this quarterback. Bryce Young is a guy that's going to prove himself to be a Heisman Trophy type of a talent. I think he's much like Spencer Rattler when it comes to physical tools. So I'm looking forward to Alabama and how they look with the new quarterback. And so I'll be watching that. And to be honest with you, as an Alabama guy, I'm really looking forward to how Auburn comes out of the gate. I mean, I know they're only playing Akron this week, but I just want to see, what Brian Harsin's, Auburn team looks like after getting rid of Gus Malzahn. I mean, that's one of those SEC kind of Alabama things that you want to see. So I'm looking forward to that. And other than that, we'll just watch the scores roll in.
How do you feel about the Notre Dame and Florida State game, Coach?
I really like Notre Dame. Kind of in a homer kind of a way. I mean, I think Kyle Hamilton is probably could be a Heisman Trophy candidate as a defensive guy. Now, Kyle, I don't know if you remember, Coach, the Hamiltons out of Mobile, Derek and Angelo Hamilton. But anyway, this is Derek's kid, Kyle. And I really think, You know, for that reason, I've been watching Notre Dame, and they look like a team that could still land in that 11-1, 12-1 type area and be in that mix for the championship game at the end. So I'm rolling with Notre Dame to have a really good season.
Yeah, and the other big game of the week, Coach, you got Georgia and Clemson. In Clemson.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big game by name. I think Georgia's got so many new kids coming back on offense or being implemented into the offense. I'm going to go with Clemson. I think Clemson is, Clemson's always, kind of like Alabama when it comes to the reloading piece. So right now you're thinking, quarterback's gone, running back's gone. I mean, but I think those guys will reload, and I would definitely pick Clemson in that one.
Awesome.
Okay. Any player that's sticking out when you guys are watching this?
I think it's a year of quarterbacks. I mean, right now, again, I mean, it's a
interesting.
Yeah.
I think there's going to be a lot of eyes on Spencer Ratliff.
Mm-hmm.
He's getting a lot of preseason hype. Yeah. He's the projected number 1 overall pick.
Mm-hmm.
And he's out of that same type of mold of a what was the past Oklahoma quarterback, Kyler Murray.
Yeah.
He's out of that physique. He has that same physique. I mean, they list him at 6 foot, but the guy's all of 5'10", probably.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And he's not as mobile as Kyler Murray, but he has a very nice arm, and he can deliver the football at the best of them. And that Oklahoma system that's gonna really highlight what he can do.
Yeah.
So, you got a lot of question marks at Georgia with JT Daniels at quarterback.
Mm-hmm.
He's never really had a complete season to really show what he could do. And then you also have Emery Jones, who's a new quarterback at Florida, who is in his first year as a full-time starter. He's been only played in limited roles, and you have one side of the media that's saying, he could be a Heisman Trophy candidate, and then the other side of the media who's actually snuck into some practices there's been reports that he hasn't looked that great in practice. So who knows?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we definitely know that when we've seen preseason, we've seen practice, everybody looks different on game day.
Yeah.
Right? Sunday best, gentlemen.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what it's all about. Now, we did have somebody chime in about CFL. They wanted to know about the Tiger Cats. They said, what is with our Tiger Cats? But I don't know. Is anybody following, either of the two of you following CFL lately? I know, Chris, you've kind of been out of it for a while.
I have not been looking. The only thing when I think Tiger Cats, I think Masoli at quarterback. I think Banks at the
Spady B.
Yeah. So they I mean, I haven't been watching this year like I should be. So you'd have to tell me.
Well,
still playing
we did win against Montreal.
Mm-hmm.
So Emery Jones for Montreal, the coach there. I actually interviewed him a couple of years ago with Damon.
Mm-hmm.
What a great guy. What a great guy. He's got such a wonderful personality. So we won. Yes. Third game into the season, we finally won. There was this one play where Sean Thomas Erlington, he did this hurdle. He jumped over this guy, legs spread open, just jumps over the guy. He's got the ball right here. It was incredible. Yeah. It was incredible. And then now Masoli was out. They put in Dane Evans.
Okay.
For quarterback.
Yeah.
And the first play, Stephen Dunbar Jr., just pew, and just took off. I do like my sound effects on that one.
Right. Nice.
So anyways, it was a good game. We're heading into our Labor Day Classic 1 week today. Mm-hmm. I think we're going to do it. I know it was a little rough start for the Hamilton Tiger Cats, but I think that now, coaches, I'm going to get your perspective on this. We didn't have preseason, right? No preseason games.
Mm-hmm.
We had limited practice. A lot of these guys, we're talking about rookies, guys that never have played together before, all of a sudden you're in a 14-game season and you have to learn how to connect.
Mm-hmm.
We're dealing with ego. We're dealing with just the player itself, the coaches. The field is a very, very crowded space.
Yeah.
That's hard. Wouldn't you say that's hard? I mean, that's the difference between NFL. Like, they've had their preseason games. They get to connect with each other.
Mm-hmm.
I'll just share a story with you. There was a time I coached a arena football team as an assistant coach in Mississippi. And when we brought all the players in from out of town, when they arrived for training camp, they were shocked that we were going to house them all in a ranch. I mean, we housed them in a boys' ranch. It was this big ranch. It was open bays. It was bunk beds, and they all were in one room. And so I would admit, a couple of them got on the plane that night, and we didn't see them the next morning. But the ones that stuck it out, that was the closest team I've ever been a part of. I mean, they were like brothers. They whined a little bit about when they first saw it, but that ranch brought them together, and they spoke about that ranch throughout the season, about how that brought the team unity together, and they were grateful for that experience.
Mm-hmm.
So you're right, that preseason, that's a time where you start to build your camaraderie with your teammates, and it's super important.
Yeah, because we haven't had football since 2019. Now, Coach Chris Williams, you've been involved in the CFL. You know that when you get a group of guys together, no matter if you're scouting or if you're coaching, you're a fan, no matter what, it's building that bond up with the players. But I feel like once they connect, like the Hamilton Tiger Cats just connected.
Mm-hmm.
It's got to be good from here on out, right?
Yeah, you would think so. I mean, like I said, I haven't been watching this year like I should be, but I can just tell you that in regular football here in the States, I mean, it's tough to get together and figure it out in a short training camp with no preseason. But in the CFL, when you add all of the extra that goes along with that, you're talking about the different set of rules, the extra guy on the field, the Canadian national guys that are on the team, and the mixing with the internationals. I mean, there's so much that if you don't have that training camp, then you're kind of just hoping that you can quickly put it together. So I can only imagine that if it's looking like they've got it together, and of all the CFL teams, I mean, they really have what I think is probably one of the top two quarterbacks in the league. So if that guy's healthy, and even the backup kid's been around and has been backing him up for years. So they've got a really good nucleus there to build upon, but without a training camp in the CFL, I mean, that's a tough one to go with.
It is hard.
So we'll see.
But like I said, Stephen Dunbar Jr., incredible. Like, the games just started and then just took off. And he's actually had quite the NFL experience as well. So speaking of NFL, gentlemen, as we said earlier in the show, we are heading into the regular season. How can you not be excited? I know we did our predictions 2 weeks ago. There's a few that I may want to change, but for the most part, we are heading into the regular season. Do you guys have thoughts on what you watched during the preseason? Did anything stick out with you, Coach Kirk Broussard?
Well, some things that stuck out. A lot of people saw the 49ers and they saw Trey Lance get in and make some plays, and then of course the media jumps on it and they're like, well, is he competing for the starting role? Is Shanahan gonna start him over Garoppolo? And I think what Kyle Shanahan was doing, and he probably learned this from his dad, I think he was playing Trey Lance a lot without the intentions to start him in the regular season, just to give that first week opponent something else to prepare for. Because coaches, we all know, if you take time, time is valuable. So if that team has to spend, a half a day preparing for Trey Lance, that takes time away from what they should be preparing for with the game plan against Garoppolo. So it's a chess match. And I think Kyle Shanahan was playing chess by playing Trey Lance without the intentions of his starting Trey Lance on week one. You'll see Garoppolo run out to lead the team on week one, I believe. So that stood out to me.
Coach Chris Williams?
I'm a big Hard Knocks guy, so I've been really digging in and watching the Cowboys, and just seeing how that's unfolding. I mean, the Dak Prescott's injury is sort of up in the air. I mean, is he going to be able to play? Is he not going to be able to play? I mean, where's Zeke Elliott going to be when it comes to getting back to the form that he was at a couple of years ago? How does CeeDee Lamb play into this? The defensive guys that are the new guys coming in. So I've been kind of, even though I'm not really a Cowboy fan, I've found myself watching that dynamic. I mean, how is Emery Jones working along with Mike McCarthy, and being in Green Bay? I mean, looking at how different is McCarthy in that environment than he was in Green Bay. Is that going to work? So just really watching the Cowboys. Just wanting to see how that's going to come out. And I think that first game against the Buccaneers is going to tell us a lot. So just kind of getting on the bandwagon of America's team, at least the soap opera that goes with that.
Yeah, there's a lot of soap opera that goes on, a lot of daytime drama that goes on in football, doesn't it? I don't know if that's what I'm more addicted to or the actual players on the field. I'm not sure, but we do have a question that has come in for the coaches. Did Denver make the right decision going with Teddy B over Drew Lock? Matt from Rocky Mountain Sports Report is asking the question.
I mean, I think I'll go first. I mean, I think they did. I thought Carolina made the wrong choice in pushing out Teddy B, and then ended up with Sam Darnold, right? So I think Teddy Bridgewater is a quality starting quarterback. I mean, had he not gotten hurt in Minnesota, this is a guy that would have been on a really solid path in his career. There's a reason why you would not start Drew Lock over him. That tells me that Denver and the staff there are seeing some things that they just don't trust in Drew Lock. So you get a really steady guy in Teddy Bridgewater. You get a guy that started a bunch of football games, that understands what he's doing. And I do think that's the right choice to make. That tells me Drew Lock is not where he needs to be in development just yet. So we'll see how it goes.
Coach Kirk Broussard.
I agree with Chris on Teddy being a quality starting quarterback. I agree that they made the right decision to start Teddy over Drew Lock. But I think a lot of Teddy's development came from the time that he spent with the Saints and Sean Payton. I think he got a lot of really good quality development just being behind Drew Brees. And I think it made him a lot more marketable to other teams because he left that experience a lot better quarterback. And it shows. And Drew Lock has had his opportunity. He's been there. I think he's going into year 3. He's had an opportunity to nail down a job. And Teddy has proven, and Teddy's done more in the league than Drew Lock. I would feel much more comfortable in a coaching role having Teddy lead my squad than Drew Lock. So absolutely. I think they made a great decision. I think he gives them the best chance to win. And as a coach, that's your responsibility.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, we have Matt. He's just saying, I agree with the decision as well. Good. We have Lock fans ready to riot. LOL. So, wow, it's very rare that many people agree on this show. Sometimes we just agree to just be nice and be careful and be sensitive around egos and stuff. But then there's that time where we like to hit a nerve. And I believe that is what my job is. And I'm going to find a nerve to hit tonight, I hope. Okay. So, we're talking about week 1 matchups. I don't even have my form here. Actually, you know what? I haven't read. I sent us a copy on our chat of, what our picks are. Bobby and I had a quick talk before you guys came on, and Bobby is the guy that runs the show behind the scenes. The first thing he said to me was, Trace, our Giants don't look good. Well, nobody looks good at first, but then sometimes they come out shining like a star. And I think one of the highlights is the Buffalo Bills. I mean, I feel like it's their year. And I'll tell you, somebody asked me a question this week, and I didn't know how to answer it. Speaking of the Bills, how do you think Jim Kelly would feel if all of a sudden, he played his whole career, doesn't win a Super Bowl, but then you have Josh Allen looking like he is going to win. Josh Allen making all this money. How do you justify that? Well, my response was, well, Jim paved the way. He paved the way for Josh to be on that field. Because if it wasn't for Jim, Josh would probably not be on that field.
Yeah. Let's see Josh go to 4 Super Bowls in a row. See how you make that happen. Win or lose, right?
Yeah. It's the journey getting there.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I get some people would say, oh, well, anybody can get there. Well, we all know that that's not true.
I think under normal circumstances, Jim Kelly would have at least one ring. It just so happens he ran against this. He was in the same era with this Cowboys dynasty, and it was just no one that was going to beat the Cowboys at that time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so NFL top 100 players list. So did they get it right? Did they get it right?
Well, I kind of looked at the top 10, so I can kind of speak on that. Mahomes was number 1, correct? Do you have that list in front of you?
I'll get it for you, but we all know Mahomes is going to be number 1.
Yeah, I can agree. We'll read through the list. I think we need to read through the list.
Okay.
Because I don't have it available right now.
Well, I didn't have it either, but give me a second. Play the music while we stall some time here.
Okay. No.
All right, so we've got number 1 is obviously Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
Let's see, 2, Aaron Donald.
I agree with that.
3, Aaron Rodgers.
I agree with that.
4, Derrick Henry.
I don't agree with that.
And 5 is Travis Kelce.
I think that's a popularity contest. No.
Oh my God. Number 7, Tom Brady comes in 7?
They're just knocking him because of his age.
Well, what's wrong with how old he is?
Well, in football years, that's old.
No, it's not. He has proven. You guys know I have this love-hate relationship with Mr. Brady.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I like him more now that he's a Buck because he just seems to have loosened up. He's got his character. He has his personality. We are connecting more with him. Yeah, he's like Mr. Perfect.
I want to bring my friend on the show. I have a friend who is Tom. He's Tom Brady's chef, and he's gonna tell you about the. I want him to bring him on so he can tell you about the diet that Giselle requests for the kids and Tom.
They grow their own food.
Yeah.
Like they have chickens
Mm-hmm.
and like grow food.
That's smart.
I tried to have a garden last summer. Oh my God. Everything died on me.
I want to do that. I want to grow my own food.
Good luck with that.
It's safer. Well, you have to hire a farmer.
Yeah. Something like that. TJ Watt, he comes in at number 9.
I can see him in the top 10.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Number
what do you think,
10.
Coach?
I don't see him in the top 10, but I can see why somebody would. I get it.
Really? DeAndre Hopkins comes in at 8.
He needs to be higher.
Yeah.
That's the best receiver in football.
Mm-hmm. Are you ready for this? Who comes in number 10?
Kyle Pitts.
No. Josh Allen.
Wow.
Allen is like number 10.
I don't know about that.
Which makes him the number 3 quarterback. Yeah, that's a tough one. Well, yeah, that's a tough one.
Why?
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
Why is it so tough?
He's just not there yet.
I think he's there. I think he's reached it. We've seen this in the preseason games. He is there. He is here. He is the man. I said this last preseason talk that we had last year. You guys laughed at me. And look at how they evolved. They are coming out on top. They will end up on top. And I think this is going to be the year of the Buffalo.
I can see that. I definitely can see that.
Listen, if I knew what a buffalo would say, I would say it right now. But I don't really know farm animal noises. So
they're going to make a run.
Yeah.
We got 2 defensive players in the top 10. So Aaron Donald and TJ Watt were the only defensive players in that top 10.
Wow, that's disrespectful.
What do you guys think of Aaron Rodgers coming in at number 3? Are we over Rodgers right now? Like, are we like, you know what, whatever?
No, he's still top 5 for sure.
Yeah.
He's the best thrower in the history of the game. Period.
I know.
Yeah.
I have this love-hate relationship with him too.
I take Mahomes myself, but he's coming off an MVP year. I mean, he's motivated.
You think Mahomes is a better thrower than Aaron Rodgers?
No, I don't.
Oh, okay.
No. Now, isn't Mahomes on the cover of the Madden? New Madden?
So you get the
Madden. Is there like a Madden curse?
I don't know. I hadn't gotten Madden yet. If I get it, it's going to waste a lot of my time. If I get Madden, I'll be up till 4 a.m. playing it.
Yeah, you and me both.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Well, so we've got that. What about Deshaun Watson? Do you think he's headed to Miami?
I hope not.
I hope so.
I hope not.
Oh, I love it when we disagree. Okay.
Well,
who wants to go first?
Miami's building something. That they're a quarterback. They're a quarterback away.
Yeah.
And I think he'll have good guidance in Miami under Flores. And I think Miami's type of city, they won't really care that he has civil lawsuits. They just want to win. It's not like an uptight city, you know.
They'll just take anybody because they want to win.
Yeah. So I think he'll fit in well there. And like I said, they're like a quarterback away from being a contender, you know.
Do you think Tua may just step up to the plate? I mean, he's doing okay.
Yeah,
he's doing okay.
I would hope he steps up to the plate, but I don't agree. I mean, I think Deshaun Watson definitely creates a confusion, coming in. I mean, right now he hasn't really shown that he's really handling this issue very well. I mean, he wasn't going to practice. He wasn't playing in the games. He was being a little bit of a crybaby off the field and kind of creating a distraction. I think you just bring that distraction, with you to Miami until that issue is solved. I mean, he's got like 23 charges against him. I mean, right? So until you solve that, I don't know that you bring that guy in. I mean, I know you're worried about Tua. You don't know if Tua's going to get you over the hump. You don't know if Tua's going to take the next step. I'm just not sure if Deshaun Watson is the guy to push that out of Tua or to take the place of Tua right now. I mean, that kid's got some issues to deal with. I wouldn't bring him in the locker room.
No. So Bobby just put a picture up of the Madden, and yes, it is of Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes, Madden 22. But there is the curse of Madden that whomever makes it on the cover. Now, don't quote me word for word. I'm just, trying to remember this. But I believe that if you are on the cover, there is something that happens to the team or something that happens to the player. Not that we are hoping or wishing anything to happen to Tom Brady or Patrick Mahomes. We don't need anybody writing in here saying that, we predicted this. But the curse of Madden.
Maybe that's how you break the curse. You share the cover with another guy. Maybe that's how you break the curse. There has been a curse, at least. It seems like there has
You're
been.
right, but there hasn't been two.
Yeah.
Tom Brady's probably been on the cover more than any other player.
Yeah.
That's at least probably his 3rd time on the cover.
Okay.
Brady. Tom.
That guy. You gotta love Tom Brady.
Jeez. Okay. I want to ask you guys a question.
Okay.
So Tony Dungy, he says that NFL should not promote gambling. Now, it's not only the NFL that is promoting gambling. I have also seen this on my side of the border. I've seen it with CFL. I've seen one of the UFC fighters. They're promoting this online gambling site. Okay. But NFL is saying that people are saying that NFL should not promote gambling.
Yeah.
People are going to do it no matter what. I'll be honest with you guys right now. I'm already in 2 pools for NFL.
Yeah. Well,
I agree.
I agree that it should exist, but I think the NFL should take a hands-off approach with it to protect the integrity of their game. You don't want to ever tie up gambling with the game. I mean, but I get it, but they connect drinking with football. Well, drinking doesn't decide the outcome of the game. You want the integrity of the game. The games to be
gambling
legit.
Addiction.
You know how people say the NBA playoffs are rigged and they want the teams to win? You don't ever want them to say that about the NFL. So I think he should keep gambling completely separate from it. So if FanDuel and DraftKings want to do gambling, great. But the NFL shouldn't promote it. I think that's what he's saying.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Coach Chris Williams, what are your thoughts? Do you feel like the NFL should not be promoting gambling?
I can see what Coach Kirk is saying, and I can see that being Tony Dungy's approach. I mean, I think he talks about how he came into the league. When he was in the league, it wasn't quite as rampant as it is now. So I see all that point of view, but at the same time, I spin that around and I think about, all of the fantasy football that's promoted and all of the, the interest that's being built in the game, and a lot of that competition that we've now created for ourselves as fans through fantasy football kind of festers gambling, right? I mean, so it's kind of, even though they're not, even though they shouldn't be quite promoting it as much, I still think that the way it's set up now today, I mean, it's kind of tough. It's kind of tough to not have that be the spawn of kind of how we handle things. So it's, the more popular things get, the more people get into it, the more fantasy football is played, the more we want to make a bet, right? So
yeah,
kind of where we're at.
Fantasy football. I'll never figure out fantasy football. I mean, I am in two pools, one for work, one for outside of work, where I put my picks in. My pigskin lipstick picks go in every week. I know we have discussed that we are going to move forward with that as well. I think you guys were kind of impressed with my picks last season.
Yeah.
Especially when I won.
Yeah.
Maybe 1 or 2 weeks. I think I won some money on that. So, I understand. I mean, there is a gambling addiction, and there is also, and it is hard when you bring that into the game. And Coach Kirk Broussard, I get it. Let's keep football away from that. Let's just kind of put that over to the side. Let's talk about the New Orleans Saints, their starter. Let's talk about Winston.
Well, yeah, they announced him last week as a starter. So that's kind of, it sparked a lot of interest because of his background, previously with the Bucks and being an up and down, inconsistent player. So people were talking about that a lot, this past week. And in addition, Taysom Hill, who was his main competition for the position, makes a significantly amount of more money than most quarterbacks make that are in a backup role.
Yeah.
So that was a battle. I knew Jameis Winston would win it. He's a far better quarterback than Taysom Hill, so he gives him a better chance to win. Is he going to be more consistent? I think Sean Payton could have an effect on him. He had a great effect on Bridgewater, so I think you could see a different Jameis Winston. I always thought Jameis was a kid with an immense amount of talent, but he needed some maturity there. He was always came off as being very immature. He'd have moments where it seemed like he was a really good leader, but I think he was just never consistently a mature personality that players would want to get behind and follow. He got away with it in college a lot, but you can't play around like that in the NFL. Those are grown men that you're trying to lead. So maybe he's mature, and the Saints are going to be an interesting team to watch because it's going to be a lot of eyes on him to see if he can perform at a consistent level. Yeah.
Coach Chris Williams.
I think you're going to see a really, really improved version of Jameis Winston. I think you're going to see the Saints make a really good run at this deal, throughout the season and through the playoffs. I mean, when you think about it, you think about what's actually wrong with Jameis Winston. When you think about, everything that's wrong with him kind of associates itself, like Coach said, to immaturity. So, I mean, he's making bad decisions. He throws a lot of interceptions. He's not the most consistent leader in the locker room. But then when you go to the field and you think about everything that's right with Jameis Winston as an NFL quarterback, there's not a throw that he can't make. He's on the high end of accuracy and being able to place the football in places he wants that thing to go. So you match that guy with maturity, and then you put him in a Sean Payton offense, and you let him have sat behind Drew Brees all of last year. Jameis Winston has got the chance to be the most improved player in the NFL this year. He's got a really good team to go with it and a really good defense. I think he's going to surprise some people. I mean, everybody says, hey, he threw 30 interceptions in Tampa Bay, but the power of maturity and learning around the right people can do a lot for a guy, and I think it's going to happen for him.
I think that's the most exciting part when we watch preseason games and you kind of peg your player as who's going to be the MVP, who is going to be the most improved. I mean, people are saying Josh Allen, MVP, 100%.
You know, that's a great point because Jameis could very easily be the most improved player in the NFL this year. As a matter of fact, I would take that bet all day.
I would.
You guys want to put some money on the line?
Well, we both agree, so we can't bet on it.
Yeah. But yeah, so it's pretty cool to see that. But then as Coach Chris Williams, you have mentioned before, when you look at preseason games, people show up in their Sunday best and everyone's putting on their highlight reel. Like you are seeing a player's highlight reel. Then you see them week 3 and week 4. And you're like, what?
Yeah.
The heck are you doing? Are we watching the same game?
Yeah.
It's hard.
The thing I'm interested in seeing is they added an extra game now.
Yes.
The NFL is already a long, grueling season.
Yeah.
That's really difficult on your body. So I want to see how players hold up at the end of the year.
Interesting that you brought up that player perspective and, coach perspective. I mean, two of you being coaches. Mental health. We're going to talk about mental health. We'll talk about like the effect that it has on a player's body, adding that extra game. As a fan, we're like, yeah, we get one more game. This is awesome. But you're right. Never even thought about it like from a player's perspective or a coach's perspective.
Yeah.
That one game, man, could like totally mess you up.
If you ever stood on the sidelines at a professional football game, which we all have, you see how difficult it is on their bodies.
That was probably one of my most favorite moments in my life was standing on the sidelines.
Yeah.
And just watching the players, watching the coaches, watch the interaction and like the pump up of the pregame, right? And the motivational speeches, no matter if it was NFL, because I've been on both sides of the sidelines, NFL and CFL. Man, you can't help but like, I wanted to jump in the circle. Like, I wanted to get on the field, but like, yeah, let's kick their asses. But it's pretty cool. As a fan, as a person who is reporting on the game, and I can imagine from a coach's perspective, because as coaches, you guys get blamed for everything that happens out there.
Yeah.
Right. Unfortunately.
No doubt about it.
Yeah, it's always the coach's fault, right?
The coach or the quarterback, for sure.
Oh, yeah. Very, very true. And like, as we said, there's quarterbacks coming in. There's quarterbacks that are just starting out. There's quarterbacks that have been around for a while. I think that the 2021-22 season is going to be very interesting this year because you have the new, you have old, you have the ones that are hanging on, and then you have the ones that are on their way out or maybe should have already been out.
Right?
And
that makes me feel old because there's a lot of quarterbacks in the league now that are considered old. And I remember when they were like just starting out, like really clearly. Andy Dalton. Now he's an old guy. It's just weird. Aaron Rodgers.
Not in life. Okay?
Aaron Rodgers is an old guy. Yeah.
My wife and I were talking about that when we were watching the Hall of Fame, and we were talking, all of the guys that are the people that are our age, right? The Peyton Mannings and Charles Woodson, all these guys are now going in the Hall of Fame. And about when you compare yourself to that, and it can definitely make you feel old for sure.
Now the Manning brothers, they have like this new show coming out. They're doing something together. I have to tell you, I love the two of them together. They are hilarious.
I think Eli's funny. But I think Peyton tries too hard to be funny.
You think?
Yeah.
No, I think he's funny.
I like Peyton. Yeah.
He's got like an odd sense of humor.
That's what makes it funny.
It feels like it's written.
No, I don't see that.
It feels like someone's telling him what to say.
Maybe because I have an odd sense of humor as well. Maybe that's why I connect with him very well. But yeah, you're right. I'm looking forward to it. I really would love to see Snoop Dogg be a play-by-play announcer for a game.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I think he would be hilarious. You both have seen him on for UFC fights and for, just on Instagram alone. He's hilarious. When he did the play-by-play for the milk cart challenge, or the milk crate challenge, do you ever see that? And he was doing the talk over for it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, okay, he brings it to a whole new level.
I think it was hilarious when he did the Nate Robinson fight also.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Well, speaking of fights, before we wrap this up, we have to get to this guy named Jake Paul. Okay. I don't know if I don't know if I'm a fan or if I'm just annoyed. But do you guys feel like he is the real deal, or is he just a fake?
I'm annoyed with him. I got it.
I am. I'm so done with him. It's like, okay, dude, like I'm over you.
I mean, is your 15 minutes of fame over yet?
Bingo. Yeah.
And he's handpicking these fighters. He either gets them when they're like really old that he can kind of hang in there with.
Yeah.
Or he gets somebody that's not really a boxer. And a lot of people are speculating that guy was paid to let Jake Paul win.
Wow.
If you go back and watch the fight.
Wow.
It's been all over the net now. Yeah. Because it just seemed obvious that he could have just handled Jake Paul, but it seemed like he was holding back.
Yeah, and he's like he's filming and taping all these little like TikTok things and improv videos of egging people on, and you're like, okay, whatever. Like we know this is fake. Like this is fake. I don't know. I'm over him. But yet I pay for the show every time that there's a UFC fight on.
You actually watched the fight?
I do. I'm so annoyed that I have to watch it.
I wasn't going to pay for that. I'm not putting money in his pocket.
I know.
No way.
Guilty. Coach Chris Williams, what are your thoughts on him? Jake?
I haven't watched him much. I've seen a couple of his fights. I mean, I don't know that he's a real deal. That's for sure.
No.
I would just say he looks like a big mouth to me. I mean, so I don't know where that puts him between real deal and fraud, but definitely not the real deal.
He's made me believe that I could be a fighter too. Right?
I mean, it was so obvious that Floyd could have just took him out whenever he really wanted to.
I don't know. That's my competitive side coming out. But gentlemen, any last thoughts on the NFL season? Any last words that you guys have?
I'm like the rest of America. Like, I'm just excited to get back to it, get back to like the full version of it. And I think this version is going to be even more intense because people have been missing it so much, just the same way we have. So I think the stadiums are going to be a little bit louder. I think the games are going to be a little bit more intense. And I think the players are going to be grateful to have the fans because that energy, that roar of the stadium, that energy, it just helps you to play on a whole different level.
And they will play different. I do agree with that. I think that they will play different. Not saying they didn't bring it to the game last season, but when you have that fake noise and you have the fake pictures, it's not the same. Yeah. It's not the same.
I think this rookie class is going to be really exciting to watch. There's a lot of hype around a lot of the rookies. So,
yes, very, very true. Coach Chris Williams, any last words for tonight?
Just really quickly, I'm excited about watching quarterbacks play. I think Tom Brady has inspired a lot of guys. A lot of QBs now see how much can be done going through that position. So I think he has inspired some guys. I think you'll watch the Josh Allens of the world, the Russell Wilsons. I think you'll see some guys really get themselves close because they really understand what they can be as leaders. So I'm looking for a big quarterback here is going to happen this year.
Yeah, it's very exciting. And I can't wait just to win every week when we take our picks. So we will we'll recap our week one on our chat. We'll see if there's any changes, and then we will post it so that everyone can see who we have picked for week one and see who is the big winner of the week. And I don't know. We'll have to figure out what happens to the losers of the week. What they got to do. Yeah. I don't know. We'll figure that part out. But gentlemen, happy Monday. It is great to be back. Football is back. Oh, very, very exciting. And I wouldn't do this with any other gentleman than you. So thank you very much. This is the Play Callers Pod. Follow us on all our social. Make sure if you have any questions, or if you want to see a guest on here, if you have questions for the coaches, you can just chime in at any time. Thanks for watching, guys. It's been a great night.
All right. Thank you. God bless.
Night,